Hello, my name is Renato and I'm going to present you my paper which is called On the Temporality of Priors in Entity Linking. I've done my research in LTS Research Center, which is based in the Leibniz University of Hanover in Germany. Entity linking is a very important task in natural language processing which deals with the lexical ambiguity in texts. Basically, entity linking is the task that determines the identity of entity mentions and link them to their corresponding entries in a reference knowledge base, for example, Wikipedia or DBpedia. In this sentence here, Amazon workers strike over virus protection. An entity linking system is responsible for identifying important mentions and linking them to their unique and unambiguous entries in a reference knowledge base. Entity linking is a task of great importance for a wide variety of applications, for example, information retrieval, document classification, topic modeling, among others. An important component in most approaches is the probability that a mention links to an entity in the knowledge base. And this prior probability is a strong indicator to select the correct entity for a given mention. Computation of this prior is typically done over knowledge sources such as Wikipedia. An entity's popularity is temporally sensitive and may change due to short-term events, and these changes might be then reflected in a reference knowledge base, and disambiguation methods can produce different results for a given mention at different times. In summary, we show that the priors change over time and the overall disambiguation performance show high variability. That indicates that the temporal effects should not only be taken into account in building entity linking approaches, but they have major implications in evaluation design, especially when the baselines that are trained on temporally distant knowledge bases are compared. Here we describe our approach. We created dictionaries of mentions and their referring entities, ranked by their popularity of occurrences for every Wikipedia edition. A typical entity linking system would generally perform the following steps. Mention detection would extract phrases or terms that can refer to real-world entities, and entity disambiguation, which would select the corresponding knowledge base entry for each ambiguous mention. Remember, considering that we take into account the time aspect on the disambiguation task, we now pose the entity linking at a specific time as follows. Given a document D with the timestamp T and a previously recognized set of mentions, the goal of the entity linking task at the time T is to find the correct entity mapping with relation to the mention N. But the difference here is that the set of entities is extracted from the reference knowledge base at different time periods. To evaluate our experiments, we employed some datasets that are widely used benchmark datasets for entity linking tasks. First one is ECIR2020, which is a new corpus extracted from the original ACE coreference dataset. Second one is CONALL, which is based on the dataset from the CONALL 2003 shared task. IITB is a corpus extracted from popular web pages about sports, entertainment, science and technology, and health. Acquaint 50 is a subset from the original Acquaint Newswire corpus, and MSNBC contains news documents from 10 MSNBC news categories. The table on the right shows some statistics about these datasets, including the number of documents, the document's publication time, the number of annotations, and the annotations period of time. In this table here, we show the mention Watson and its top 5 candidate entities together with their corresponding prior probabilities calculated from 2 different Wikipedia editions. Top one from Wikipedia 2006 and the bottom one from Wikipedia 2016. In this table, we can see the accuracy calculated on the ground truth datasets using the prior probability model from different time periods. We can surely observe an accuracy changes for all the datasets used in this paper. We've observed that a simplistic popularity-only based method that takes into account reference knowledge bases from different time periods can produce an improvement of 5.4 percentage points in the best case for ECIR2020 dataset and 2 percentage points in the worst case for MSNBC dataset. In this work, we've conducted experiments with different Wikipedia editions and also created an entity linking model that uses the entity's prior probability calculated over different Wikipedia snapshots. One limitation of previous works is the fact that the systems are trained on a fixed time Wikipedia edition. And from our experiments, we could clearly see some temporal variability which should be taken into account for entity linking systems evaluation. As part of future works, we plan to extend this paper's experimental setup and build a ground truth for temporal entity linking, as well as try to create an adaptive entity linking system. This is the end of my presentation, and I appreciate your attention.